Alright, y'all, what's going on? Welcome to the channel, and as y'all see, I got the GoPro on, and I'm gonna bring y'all a POV video for this video. So let's get started, shall we? Let's see, by the title and thumbnail of this video, I'm gonna be talking about basically why I decided to let the 5th gen go and come to the 6th gen side of things. Let's see, I don't know really where to start. Let's see. Well, I'll say by this. I guess I'll start by this. Like I said in the last video, the 6th gen has been a car that's been, you know, it's a car I've been wanting for a little while. Let me go ahead and can't forget about the seatbelt. But the 6th gen basically been a car. What the fuck? That I don't know what that car got going on, but the 6th gen has basically been the car I've been wanting for a little while, and y'all also can tell, yeah, like I said, this car is a manual. That's another reason why I wanted to get out of the 5th gen. But yeah, so I've been wanting the 6th gen for a minute. I ain't gonna lie. And I decided, you know, I just went ahead and pulled the trigger on this one. I seen this one. The price on it was pretty good. The car is it's a 2020. Like I said, it's a 1SS basic, you know, base model, whatever you want to call it. 1SS Camaro. It had 52,000 on it when I got it. Now it's at 54. Almost, I put damn near almost 2,000 miles on it in the past 3 weeks. I've owned it, so definitely tells you that I've been driving this motherfucker. And with the 5th gen, I'm be honest with you, that car, it would sit, man. It would sit. The 5th gen would just sit. I wouldn't drive it. And it was a couple reasons why I decided, ooh, that was a nice little Corp, man. There was a few reasons why I decided, why I just really let it sit, you know, why I wouldn't drive it. One was, like I mentioned, on Instagram, or I guess if y'all follow me, if for people that follow me on Instagram, I said well, that basically my 5th gen, it had some issues, I ain't gonna lie. The biggest one being that I didn't have no heat. That's a common thing with 5th gens, actually, that I didn't know about. I didn't have no heat. I think my blend door was basically messed up. It was broken. So I didn't have no heat. The AC, on the other hand, pretty much worked for the most part. But the heat, as far as heat goes, I didn't really have heat. Now, obviously, that could have been, that definitely could have been fixed, of course. But I just never really got around to really worrying about it, man. Cause I just knew the 5th gen was gonna be, that car was gonna be gone. I didn't think it would be going this soon. I ain't gonna lie, but I just knew eventually it would have been gone. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I lost motivation of the car for real, and just, I guess what it was, man. That was my 2nd 5th gen now home. Even though that one was cammed, that one was like kind of modded up and everything, I guess it kind of got old again. I ain't gonna lie, but I definitely still had memories, and I definitely had fun times with the car. But you know, I guess you know, it just kind of got old again. And like I said, I knew eventually I was gonna be, I knew I wanted to get me a 6th gen, and I knew one day it was gonna happen. And I guess boom, we're here. I'm in the 6th gen now, and then like I said, a manual. Like I guess that car being an automatic, man, it just kind of played into the factor of it, you know, not really having, couldn't really have the most fun I could get out of that car. If it was a manual, I guess it would have been different. I don't know. Actually, I don't know, man. Like I said, if I were to, okay, I'll put it like this, y'all. If I were to bought another 5th gen manual, right? Say we went and got another 5th gen that was a manual, I feel like it would have been different from what I've been used to, because like I said, the 2 other 5th gens I had were automatics. But I feel like it would have still been old. It would have still got old. It would still felt the same. It would have been still, besides the transmission, it still would have been the same car. So I feel like I still would have been saying eventually, oh yeah, I want a 6th gen. So that's why I just went ahead and jumped up and got the 6th gen, man. Just go ahead. That's a whole new car, to me at least. I mean, it literally is a whole new car, like as far as like where I come from, you know, going from 2014 to 2020, it is definitely a newer car. It's a whole new car to me as far as you know, chassis wise, and the platform. Like the 6th gens is just a whole lot different than 5th gens. But yeah, back to the reason. Sorry if this video is kind of all over the place. It's gonna be more of like an unedited raw type of video. But going back to, I guess, what made me going back to why I went ahead and let the 5th gen go, as well was another reason why I went ahead and let it go, I guess you could say, is that, I mean, it was modded up, and it was cammed, of course, y'all know that. And what I mean by it was modded, the reason I let it go, because it was modded, well, let me explain. There's a couple reasons why I went ahead and let it go. One reason I let it go because of that was because, you know, say, you know, I were to be out here constantly racing and beating on the car, you know, just say, like, you know, I didn't really race it like that. I didn't race it too often, but say if I were to really like race the car like that, like seriously, like go out every weekend, race it, drag, race it, whatever, eventually I know eventually something was going to be bound to happening with the car, whether the motor, I blow the motor, or I you know, say rod brakes or something like that. Something with them, I knew something was bound to happen soon, eventually, with the car, you know what I mean? And you know, that kind of was on my mind, you know, really majority of the time, me owning that car, I was wondering, like, man, what if this happens, you know, what if that happens? So now with this car is bone stock. Like, it ain't got nothing done to it, and it has a warranty on it. I really ain't got that worry no more, you know what I mean? This car breaking or whatever. And another thing I guess you could say about that car being modded. I mean, I basically bought that car like that, right? So you basically could say that car was basically somebody else's build, which it was. That car was already like that when I bought it, and you know, you could basically say that I bought somebody else's build, which, you know, is cool and all, but at the same time, I want to be able to say, like with this car is bone stock. I know whenever I start doing stuff to it engine wise, I know exactly what's been done to it, and I could say that I the one that put all these parts on the car and built it myself. And I could say with this car, I could basically call this car my own build. Like, I built it, it's my own build basically. with the other car, like I said, it was already built, kind of. It was a build that was, you know, that has already been started, and I bought it, you know. And I guess if y'all get what I'm saying about that, like, basically, you know, this car is completely stock, engine wise. It's got some wheels on it already, which I do like the wheels. I'm gonna try to I need to get the fit. I'm gonna get some better tires, get some wider tires, try and make the fitment better on the car. Go ahead and lower it. But basically, like, this car is basically all mine to, you know, touch, whatever. This car is all mine to put my hands on it, you know what I mean? Do the stuff I want to do to it, basically, cosmetically wise and performance wise. But the performance is gonna stay where it's at for a little while. I ain't gonna lie. It's gonna stay where it's at for a little while. I don't know if y'all can capture the exhaust on the video or not. This car, it sounds decent for what it is, for it being the muffled elite, but I ain't gonna lie, that will be something I will be changing. That will be something I will be changing soon, though. How the car sounds or whatnot. Yeah, cause I ain't gonna lie, I want this thing to kind of scream, and the way it sounds right now, it sounds good, but I just need it a tad bit, you know, want it a tad bit louder, you know. But yeah, I guess as far as me letting the 5th gen go, though, and coming to the 6th gen, like I said, that's really it. Like I said, the car didn't have heat. That's why, mainly in the winter times, that car was really sitting there. And yeah, I wouldn't be driving it, like I said, because there was no heat at all. So that car would basically sit there. And like I said, along with that, you know, with that car basically being modded already, you know, the fear of me knowing that something was going to happen to it eventually, you know, down the line, where the engine could go, and something with the engine can go wrong or whatever. I knew it was gonna. I just had that fear in me. That's another reason why I didn't really go out like race it like that. And I don't know, man. And then on top of that, like I said, the motivation for me keeping the car or whatever kind of went down the hill. It just went downhill. You know what I mean? It's really hard to explain it, man. But yeah, the active rev match. Oh man. Oh, there goes 5th gen over there. Oh yeah, so speaking of AC and everything, yeah, like I said, this car definitely has heat in AC. And actually, I would say actually AC on that car, oh my god, what the fuck is this car doing? South Carolina drivers, man. But y'all probably can hear the car better now since I rolled the windows up. But with the AC and heat, yeah, this car definitely has working AC and heat now, of course, because it's newer. But with the 5th gen, I would say the AC, it was working, but it wasn't like fully working either. Basically, man, like the car, like I said, the car had the broken blend door, and that's a common issue on 5th gens. And here, you know, there's one other thing I just realized. The issues that I had with my last 5th gen, with Venom, basically, I didn't have these issues with my first 5th gen. It's kind of strange. Like I said, the blend door is a common thing that kind of goes out on the 5th gens. Well, I actually had an issue. It wouldn't happen frequently, but it would happen every once in a while. When it happened, it would be annoying. But basically, okay, I only had one key for that car, and basically what would happen is I would whenever when I turned the car off and tried to take the key out of the ignition, it would kind of get stuck. And it was a fix, and it was a fix. It was a simple fix for that. I forgot what it was, why it would keep getting stuck, but basically it was something with something under the steering wheel. It was like a lock. It was like a lock mechanism or whatever that would kind of I don't know. It's something weird like that, but the key would get stuck every once in a while. I mean, I could get it out, you know. It would just, I have to like kind of flick it back on and flip it off again, and it will come out. But it was a weird little thing with that would also happen, but that didn't happen. I didn't have no type of issue with that with my first 5th gen though. So I don't know, like I said, it's weird. Something else that I don't know, but yeah, like I said, mainly, man, like the reason I went ahead and got 6th gen was, like I said, I knew these cars from the factory, like what these cars are stock, they're pretty quick for what they are. And I just went ahead, I just figured it would have been more worth it to go ahead and get a 6th gen, you know what I mean, than going out and getting another 5th gen manual. As a matter of fact, hold up, I'm gonna speak on this. So it was some cars that, okay, I was looking at trying to buy when I still had Venom, and I posted these on my Instagram story, and one of them, it was this burgundy 5th gen. It was cam, basically it was a manual version of Venom. It was a 2010. It was an older body style. It was a 2010, but basically it was cam. I think it was heads cam, stage 4 cam. It was making basically like 500 wheel. And at first, you know, I was looking at it and I was talking to the dude before I went and looked at it and drove it. I was like, oh, that's a nice C5 right there. But basically, I was all up for it. The dude was telling me, you know, about the car and everything. He told me, you know, it was modded, basically cammed and everything. And I told him about my car, told him about Venom. I told him my car was cammed and all that. Told him it was a newer car, and he was basically willing to like straight up trade with me. Like he was basically willing to, like, he was going to pay off my car and I just buy the car from him, that Camaro from him, and I just, you know, basically take a loan out for that Camaro that he had, which was like, it was cheap. It was kind of cheap too. It was like $17,000, but it's a reason for why it was cheap like that. Well, I'm finna get into it in a second. But it was 17,000, something like that. It only had 80,000 miles on it. About 80,000 miles, which is lower than what I had on Venom. And oh yeah, and to get into it as well, so Venom had 103 when I traded in. And for example, this car right here has literally half the miles Venom has on it, which is kind of crazy to think of. So I literally got a newer car, and I literally got a car that had half the miles of Venom on it, which is kind of crazy to me. But yeah, back to that burgundy Camaro. So I was stoked on, you know, going to look at it, see what it was about. Everything kind of checked off good. I knew the person that tuned it and everything. It's a local shop that's kind of local to our area. I know it's a pretty reputable shop. It's pretty well known. The dude that does the tuning, he's pretty good. So I knew, okay, so I know this car is set up decently well. So I went ahead and drove it, looked at it. Matter of fact, I'm finna throw up a clip of, I had Venom, I parked Venom next to the car, and I had both of the cars running. Like I said, if y'all on Instagram, y'all seen that clip already. I had both cars right next to each other. Here's the crazy thing: Venom only had the stage 2 cam in it, and that burgundy one, like I said, had stage 4. Venom was way louder. way louder than that burgundy one. And I think it's just the because I think the way the manuals are versus the automatics, I think the automatics idle higher than the manuals, I think. But also I think it may have been the exhaust. I mean, I think both cars are catless. Yeah, that burgundy one was loud too, especially when I got it. It was loud. I think it's just the way that cam is, the way the cam was. It was kind of had a low idle to it, but when you got on it, you can still, it was pretty loud. But I think Venom was louder though in general, but still it was kind of crazy. I was thinking, damn, a stage 4 cam car, it's not, you can't even hear it running next to Venom. But yeah, I'm gonna throw the clip in so y'all know what I'm talking about. Which one sounds better?
Hard trade to make, bro.
This one sounds quiet though for a stage 4. This one is the same. Damn. And you gotta go up front. Yeah. Just imagine these two race right now. I want to see that, man. I want to see that for real. But yeah, so as y'all see that clip, yeah, you can barely hear that car running. But yeah, anyway, so this is right before I got into the test drive. That's right before I test drove the car. So I was kind of hyped, I was all hyped and stuff, and like I said, that all was finna change after I drove that car. So I didn't have no video of it. I should have brought the GoPro that day when I drove that car, but I don't know. That's when I wasn't doing nothing like social media wise. Yeah, so like, I had went through a phase, man, with Venom. I had went through a little phase last year, man. Like, I went through a little phase, man, where I wasn't really doing much. I just lost a lot of motivation to do, a lot of different stuff too. Like, I wouldn't even go out to car meets like that. I don't know, man. I went through a little phase, but now I'm out of that phase and I'm back better than ever. But yeah, so I drove the car, I stalled it. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Tried to go in the fourth and I actually went back into the second. See, I ain't gonna lie, one thing I'm not really feeling is on these 6 gens is the shift knob. I think I'm gonna go ahead and switch that out. I'm gonna have to go ahead and switch it out real soon and get me just a standard like 8-ball shift knob. I prefer those type of shift knobs better than like these. Like, I mean, this is fine for what it is. It's just like, it's kind of weirdly shaped though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna go ahead. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in, what is it, the Herschel? I'm gonna go ahead and do that soon. I'm gonna do that soon anyways. Gonna have to for performance. Go ahead and get a short throw shifter in here soon. But for now, I think I'm just gonna swap that shift knob out. I think I just swap the shift knob out like it ain't nothing. But speaking of shift knobs, so in that Camaro, that burgundy one, it had a Herschel shifter in it. And so when I first got in it, dude had it. He had it running. He had it running already. Like I said, so when I got in it, I don't know why. No, actually, no, I take that back. He didn't have it running. I cranked it up, and that Herschel, if y'all know the Herschel short throw shifters on the 5th gens, they're kind of like tall-ish looking. It looks like when I hopped in it, I ain't gonna lie, I thought the car was in neutral. I didn't shake the car. I didn't shake it to check or nothing, but I thought the car was in neutral. But it wasn't. It was in 1st gear. So, and like I said, it was at that point I hadn't driven the manual car in a minute. So I got in that car, clutched in, turned it on, everything, and the handbrake was up. So y'all can bet what I immediately did. I let go of the clutch, and the car just bucked forward and killed itself. I was like, oh my god. I was like, I made a rookie mistake, man. Made a rookie mistake. But like I said, that Herschel shifter, it looked like it was in neutral. I ain't gonna lie. But like I said, I didn't even check to make sure it was, and I just let it go. So I stalled it. I did stall it one time. That was the first time I stalled it. So I cranked it back up, of course, and then I tried to move the car. And I tried to move it, and I guess, I didn't give it enough gas, and the car stalled out again. And when they say when I hear people say that driving the cam, when you drive a cammed manual car, it's like you're basically learning how to drive the car all over again, which is very true from it being stock. Because that cam, if you don't give it enough gas or whatever, especially if it's a big cam car, oh, that's a nice fifth gen. If it's a big cam car like that, like a stage 4 cam, yeah, you don't give it enough gas, it will die. So that's what ended up happening. I started again on the dealership lot. The dude wasn't, he actually, I think he went back in, but yeah, it was a little embarrassing, I ain't gonna lie. I told him I knew how to drive a manual, but I started twice on the dealership, on the little dealership lot, whatever. But after that one, I actually got it moving, and I think I'm gonna get into why I think I ended up stalling it though. I think the clutch was fucked up on it. The clutch, I think, was fucked up on the car, and another thing with the car was, I think it was oh yeah, no, it was the second gear. The second gear was fucked up on it. Second gear, it was grinding. And when I mean by grinding, I don't mean like it had like a little small grind. Nah, that car was grinding. I think second gear, it was basically on his last leg. And when I went out and did that test drive, I did a little first, the third or fourth gear pull. I did the pull to, you know, see how it felt and everything. And yeah, I mean, I think I took second gear out of his misery. I think I took second gear out when I did that pull, because after that pull, I tried to go back in the second and it didn't go in. So, and it was, I tried to go in, it just was grinding so bad I didn't even try to go. So I think second gear was basically going out. So what that means to me, what that meant to me was, whoever had that car, they dogged the fuck out of it. They dogged the fuck out of that car. And you gotta think, guys, that's a Tremec transmission that's in that car. We're not talking about an MT82. We're not talking about an MT82. I hate to throw the shade, but we're not talking about an MT82 here, y'all. We're talking about a Tremec TR6060, and second gear is basically grinding like that. Yeah, that had to tell me whoever had that car basically dogged it, and that's probably why they got rid of it, because they knew second gear was basically finna be going out. So, and I think I took out second gear in that pull. So yeah, so I drove that car seeing that the clutch, it felt funny. I think the clutch was probably going to need to be replaced too. So after that test drive, man, my mood changed, man. I ain't gonna lie. And I got back. And one more thing. I guess with that car, I think that car also had an issue with the starter. It may have had like the hot start issue, because I remember when I stalled the car those couple times, it took a second for it to start up. So I think that was another issue with that. So that car just wasn't it. I guess you could say it. The car wasn't meant to be. And I'm glad now, because look where I'm in now. I'm in this, and I ain't got none of those issues with the clutch, shifter, you know what I mean. So yeah, that ended up being the car I passed on. And I mean, I liked it, you know what I mean. Like it would have been nice, you know, if it didn't have no issues, because that car, it was that burgundy color. I think that's one of those rare colors for the 5th gen. And then it had like that black. It had like the whole top half of the car was like matte black. It was it's something you don't really see, but I kind of liked it. You know, it was like a unique look, but it just ended up not being the car that was worth trading Venom for. I ain't gonna lie. So I ended up passing on that one. Okay, so the next car that I was looking at getting was, well, I made a video of it. It was that orange Mustang. Now, here's the thing with that Mustang. The Mustang, ain't gonna lie, that car, it was supercharged. It was Rouse supercharged. And you know, like I said, once again, and that car, it has some power. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what I think it was just, I think it just had that Rouse supercharger on it. It may have had, I don't think it had no headers. I don't know. It may have, I don't know. But for that car felt good. I ain't gonna lie. It was pretty fast. But here's the thing with that Mustang though, that I didn't really say in that video, but I think I did. But okay, that Mustang, it had a clutch. That Mustang had an issue with the clutch as well, and I think it was slipping. It was going out, I want to say. And on top of that, of course, the Mustang has the notorious MT82. So, and I actually, in that video, y'all see I actually got locked out a couple times. So if I were to have got that Mustang right off the bat, actually no, the dealership actually was going to replace that clutch. Yeah, they were going to replace the clutch, so that would have been done. But still, right off the bat though, getting that Mustang, I would have had to once again go back to dealing with the MT82 issues. Because see, here's the thing, I know now I know this, but at the time when I had my Mustang, I didn't really know that if you upgrade the clutch or whatever, I used to see a lot of people say this, if you get the upgraded clutch and you do like the clutch line, the stainless steel clutch line, all that basically solves most of the problems with the MT82, which I mean, which is cool, I guess, which is good, I guess. But you still, here's the thing though, the MT82 still don't hold as much power though. Like I say, like a stock MT82 probably, you shouldn't be pushing no more than like 700-800 ideally. But I know there's people out there that push way more than that on the stock MT82. But you know, I feel like if I would have bought that Mustang, eventually I probably would have broken a gear. One of the gears probably would have went out, and I probably would have had to been replacing the transmission on that car. And on top of that, like I said, the main reason why I ended up didn't even get in the Mustang was because the banks, the numbers they were talking about on that car, I don't know. Thinking about it, it kind of made sense. I mean, for what that car was, it was supercharged. It wasn't a stock GT. It was supercharged. Money's been put into that car, but the way, like, for the year though, it's a 2015, you know, and they was telling me, basically, they was telling me to put a good bit of money down for the car, which I didn't understand why. Like I said, I had 2014 Camaro traded in for a 2015 Mustang. It just didn't make sense to me. What of the money I was talking about I had to put down on the car, and I just didn't end up going for it. So that was the main decision why I didn't even get the car. But along with, like I said, that issue with, like I said, MT82, this car here, hey, you got the good old classic TR6060, baby. But yeah, that was I guess that's basically that was the situation with the Mustang, really. It was definitely like the banks wasn't really tripping. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they decided to do what they did, because now, like I said, that was a few months later, hey, I'm in this, you know what I mean? And it just worked. I guess it worked out for the best. So let's see. Oh, so one more car I guess I should mention. And this happened, this was like literally a week or so before I bought this. I was seriously trying to buy a ZL1. I was looking at a 5th gen ZL1, you know, and the reason what made me go for 5th gen ZL1, or maybe look for ZL1, was because I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna stay with the 5th gen platform, I was thinking, you know, I might as well go for the top dog. Obviously, everybody know the top dog is the Z28. Like that's no question. The Z28 of the 5th gens is the top dog, the top tier, the car you can get. But the Z28 ain't as accessible as, say, a 5th gen ZL1 is. So, you know, I went ahead and I was like, you know, let me go ahead and get a ZL1. You know, cause I still the top, like basically that's right below the Z28 basically. You know what I mean? The ZL1 still holds is a better nameplate than the SS. And the ZL1 50 ZL1 is a car that is a car on my goal list. It's basically one of my dream cars. I ain't gonna lie. But so what ended up happening is I went and looked at this. I'm gonna post the picture up, throw the picture up. The car I was looking at. It's a black ZL1 2013. The price on it, y'all see, it's 35,000 roughly. About 35,000. It was low mileage. It was 2013, 35,000 miles. 30 something thousand miles on it for 35 grand. Pretty decently good. That's decently priced. Because some of the 5th gens, they're priced pretty, they're still like up there in like the mid, they're like the low 40s still, with low miles on it. And I wouldn't say it's not worth it, but I ain't gonna lie, at the same time, like the 6th gens are in that same price range. And with the 5th gen ZL1, you're getting a good car. The motor, it's been proven that LSA is a good solid motor. You throw some mods at it, it makes good power. You know what I mean? The only thing with the 5th gen ZL1 is it's heavy. It's heavy. Matter of fact, I think the 5th gen ZL1 is the heaviest Camaro ever made. I think it is. The 5th gen ZL1 is the heaviest Camaro ever made. I think it's like 4,200 pounds. And for what the car comes with from stock, you know, that ain't, you know, that's not, it's close. It's not Hellcat territory. It's close to Hellcat territory, but you know what I mean. The car only makes like 580 stock, right? So you were to get a stock one, you know, you wouldn't really be, I don't know. I ain't trying to like downplay or nothing, but I ain't gonna lie. There's some cars out there that would be able to keep up with you, and I don't know. I just feel like with the stock ZL1, at the time, the ZL1, when they came out, that was the king of the crop basically. But now the stock ZL1 don't get me wrong, it can hang with some cars, but if you talk about like the new ZL1s, like the Hellcat red eyes, jailbreaks and stuff, not really. Stock at least. Now of course, like I said, you start throwing mods at it, then yeah, hey, the LSA gonna put in the work. But anyway, so that black ZL1 I was looking at, the dealership, man, I think the dealership, man, they were just trying to play games. It was, first off, it was like it was far away from me. It was about almost damn near 200 miles away from me. So I had to basically, I called the dealership up, man, and just try to see what they were going to talk about, like what numbers they was talking about if I were to trade in Venom, whatever. And man, I think they were just trying to do one on me. They was trying to get over on me. I ain't gonna lie. I think they was trying to really lowball me for Venom. And I just didn't go for it. You know, even though I knew, okay, 5th gen ZL1, you know, this is the car, like, I knew a 5th gen ZL1, it's still legendary, it's still a legendary car. I just didn't think it was worth it, man, going for it. I ain't gonna lie. And sure as shit, you know, after that happened, a week later, okay, how I bought this car, right, was the same way. Well, I bought this car basically over the phone, just about. So I called the dealership this car was at. I called them, you know, did the same thing with the black ZL1. I told them, hey, I got this Camaro trade-in, blah blah blah. You know, see what they was talking about. They gave me a number that when I first heard, I was like, it wasn't a bad number, but I felt like I wanted to see if they could do better. So I went ahead. They told me to go ahead. I went ahead and decided to go ahead and fill out the credit app. I just went ahead and seen what it would have been looking like if I were to actually try to really buy it. You know, see what they was talking about down payment wise or whatnot. I ain't gonna lie. I thought they was gonna do the same thing that the bank's trying. I thought it was gonna be the same situation with the orange Mustang, where they were gonna say, oh, you need this amount down and this and that. And I thought it was gonna be like that. But these motherfuckers, they did they magic. They worked with me. Basically, once I filled that application out, you know, it took them a while. It took them a while to get back to me. I actually kind of forgot about it for a second, and they called me back. Oh, they called me back like a couple hours later. They actually said they needed to. They didn't get my birthday ish. They didn't get my birthday or something like that. So they actually told me that they needed to. They needed to get that from me. So I told them that, and yeah, I gotta get this thing. I gotta get this thing sounding more aggressive soon. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, basically, they told me that they needed some more info from me. I guess they didn't. Whoever I was talking to on the phone, they didn't enter it or whatever. So I gave them what I needed to give them. Then I say another hour or so go by, or maybe 2 hours go by, and they called me back, and oh shit, fuck, no way I got that on camera, bro. No way I got that on camera. Yeah, I'm keeping that on camera. Fuck. Now that's my second time messing up now. I ain't gonna lie. Dang, bro. That's what I'm saying. That shift knob, hey, that shift knob, bro, I think it's gotta go. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shift knob gotta go. I ain't gonna lie. I know a lot of people keep like the stock shift knobs. I think I gotta get rid of it though soon. I ain't gonna lie. That threw me off. That just threw me off guard, man. Damn. But back to the story though. So they called me. They called me back, and they basically told me a number of, okay, they updated the number of what they were gonna give me for my trade-in with Venom, and I took it. And they told me, oh yeah, and the down payment, they told me, I don't feel like exposing it wasn't much, but they told me a number of what I need to put down, and it surprised me. Well, yeah, okay, it surprised me, y'all, because I did this all by myself. I didn't have my dad sign for me. I didn't have him co-sign for me or nothing. This was all me. And they told me, they came back with the numbers, and I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of in my range. I was looking to pay for a car like this, basically. And I said, I just went ahead and said bump it. I told them I told them I was gonna be coming up there the next day, and well, y'all seen the clip of the last beginning of the last video. And see, and I ain't gonna lie, see, I would have made more videos. I would have made more videos or clips, but see, I was still thinking in my mind on the way up there that this wasn't. I was thinking that this still wasn't gonna happen. I was like, there's no way I'm finna go in. I'm finna be getting rid of Venom for a 16. I just was in disbelief, basically, the whole time. Until I went up there, I test drove this car. I went up there and test drove it first. Then we went and did all the papers and stuff like that, signing, you know. And yeah, at that point, when I made that video of when I remote started Venom the one last time, that was that was when I realized this just happened. I just bought the car. It actually just happened. You know what I mean? I was like, that's, you know what I mean? That's how quick this shit happened. Like, this really happened within the day. I ain't gonna lie. But I was, of course, that night, but the night before I went up there, I was thinking like, man, you know, do I really need to go get the 6th gen, or do I just keep Venom and just start modding, just start modding it up more, like making it, cosmetic wise, you know what I mean? Because the car, Venom didn't have much on it, man. Venom didn't have much besides some headlights, and it had a little spoiler on it, and the hood was wrapped black. That was basically it. The car had a lot more room of like improvement, performance wise and like cosmetically wise. Like the car was nowhere near like done. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I just let it go, man. I just realized, I was like, kind of realized that this is finna happen. I was like realizing that this shit may happen. I wasn't 100% saying it was gonna happen. I was like, dang, I may end up, that night I was like, yo, I'm finna get a 6th gen. I may be getting a 6th gen tomorrow. That's what I was like. So damn, I ended up going in, like I said, I ended up going ahead and getting the 6th gen, man. I was like, you know what, go ahead and get the 6th gen and chill out. That's it. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, it was some other cars I was looking at, I was wanting to potentially look at as well. Obviously, like I said, the Mustang, the S550. And S550 Mustang is a car I've been wanting for a little, I kind of been wanting to get for a little while, but I ain't gonna lie, I kind of don't got out of that phase. Not saying I don't still want an S550 or nothing down the line or whatever. I just think like now I got this car, yeah, I think that's kind of phasing out now. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I was really saying I was wanting to get a C6 Corvette too. Really looking at them. The only thing with those are they're older cars, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, shit, those cars are timeless. Those cars will always be classic, timeless classics or whatever. But those cars will always be classic. They got the timeless look. Those cars will stay relevant for a long time because the performance you get out of those cars it's pretty good. But with them being older cars, it kind of made it harder for me to buy one. I ain't gonna lie, just because I don't know, man. It just made it harder for me to buy one. Even though I know a C6 Corvette has potential, they have so much potential performance wise. I just felt weird if I were to buy a car like that, like an older car. Like I was mainly looking at like the 08, 09, like the early LS3 C6s. I know, yes, C6 went all the way up to 2013 and all, but those the newer C6s come with a higher price tag, and I was like, yeah, I just ended up kind of phasing out that idea of me getting a C6, at least for now. For now, I won't be, obviously I already made the decision. I bought the 6th gen, but 6th gen was the best car to get at this time. I ain't gonna lie, because like I said, it's basically I'm basically picking off of where I left off with Venom, honestly. With this car, but yeah. Like I said though, the day that I bought this car, man, it was just crazy though, because like, man, like, it just happened so fast, man. Like I said, I talked to the dealership over the phone. This basically happened over the phone, pretty much. I had to go up there and actually sign the papers and give them the money and all that. But yeah, it basically happened this happened all over the phone, basically, and it's kind of wild. Now, I basically bought this car, pretty much bought the car sight unseen, pretty much, you know what I mean? But I just knew, when I knew the car was gonna be solid when I got there and test drove and everything. And then, like I said, on top of that, the car came with the warranty. So I knew, okay, this car comes with a warranty, this and that, all that. And yeah, I just knew like this was a car to get. I ain't gonna lie. And yeah, so that's where we're at now, man. And this video is gonna be pretty long, but it's all right though. It's all good. Hopefully y'all been enjoying this POV drive. I ain't been really doing too much craziness, but like I said, I look forward to bringing y'all some more content soon. Hopefully some racing content. I'm sure y'all probably love that. Yeah, like I said, I was basically explaining to y'all, you know, we'll maybe go ahead and get rid of Venom, and we'll maybe go, basically we'll maybe go for a 6th gen, you know, because like I said, I felt like if I would have got a 5th gen, if I would have dead ass got another 5th gen, even if it would have been the manual, I still would have been saying, yeah, I still want to get a 6th gen down the line. I just knew it was going to happen, so I just went ahead and just phased that out and just got a 6th gen. I ain't gonna lie. And yeah, like I said, I ain't gonna be doing nothing to it. I won't be, like, motor wise, I won't be touching it for a little while, simply because I got the warranty on it, which, I mean, let's be honest, I mean, most people void their warranties within the first year or so of them owning the car. But me personally, I'm a chill out, you know, I'm gonna kind of use that to my advantage here and there for a little while. And like I said, I'm mainly gonna be doing mostly cosmetics things to this car for now, but not saying, of course, I'm not saying I will never touch the motor. No, I will be putting my hands on that very soon. In the future, I will be doing some stuff to that LT1. But for now, the car gonna be, if anything, the car will be louder. I'm gonna have it sounding better than what it is currently, and it's gonna look better than what it is. And yeah, but anyways, y'all, that's gonna be it, yo. Y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna post more videos soon. Yeah, until the next video though, y'all be safe.